Greetings fellow Decepticons, Soundblaster1987 here with another Transformers Age of Primes review. Today, from the Robots in Disguise 2001 anime series universe, I have Voyager class Sky-Byte. Now, the original Sky-Byte toy was actually a repaint of the Beast Wars Transmetal II Cybershark mold, and neither this version nor the 2030 version from 10 years ago had repaints as the Cybershark version that the original design came from, yet. Although with Sky-Byte here in the Age of Primes form being a relatively new figure, there's still a possibility that it might happen in future. So, as you can see, he's faithfully represented in his techno-organic grey-white shark form with a load of silver and gunmetal details of technology poking through the shark skin. Kind of reminds me of the Ben 10 Omniverse redesign of Ultimate Humongousaur that Albedo turned into in one episode, with a load of metal pipework bursting through the arms and such. So, articulation in shark mode, the shark head can bend to look downwards like so, and you can also open the shark mouth like so and remove the missile launcher for some more realistically shark-like poses. And the way that the arms are jointed at the back here also allows the tail to move as well. And because the end of the tail is also the left hand, there's a wrist swivel that allows for even more expressive range of mid-swim poses. Like so. And these fins on the side here are on 5mm pegs because they're also removable weapon accessories, so those can be rotated in their sockets for more expressive range of motion. For size comparison, here is Sky-Byte Shark mode next to Sonic the Hedgehog 3 movie Shadow the Hedgehog from Jack Pacific. Solus Prime of a 13 from the Age of Primes line. And the Flash from Mattel's DC Total Heroes lineup. So, to transform Sky-Byte, it's pretty faithful to the original, both the original toy and the anime model to be fair. So what you want to do first is open the shark mouth like so, remove the missile launcher. Then what you want to do next is unplug these side panels where the fins are attached. Extend these on their telescopic joints like so. Swivel them out of the way. Like so. Same on both sides. Can be a bit tricky sometimes, so please bear with me. Up and over, like so. Then what you want to do is you want to bring the top of the shark head up and accordion it back like so, out of the way. Then the lower jaw becomes the front of the feet. So what you want to do next is you want to unplug and accordion the shins like so until they lock into place at the kneecaps. Then bring the bottom of the feet forward all the way. Then you want to unplug the thighs from the main shark torso like so. Then split the feet to allow for separation and range of movement in robot mode. Then you want to take this big chunk of shark kibble at the back here, split it in half, and this will become the shoulder pads that Sky-Byte is well known for in the anime model. Open those out like so. Rotate those around so they're facing the right way for robot mode. Then you want to split the robot mode arms from where the tail section is and use the sliding rails to reposition the shoulder assemblies, plugging the dark grey parts into the torso, then unfold the right hand like so, and rotate the elbow so everything's oriented correctly. Same on this side, plug the grey part in, then unfold the yellow parts of the shark tail to become the outer clawed pieces of the hand. Then you want to rotate this way and that way, and that is the left arm completed. Next, what you want to do is you want to bring up on an accordion joint this assembly at the back here where the rest of the components are. You want to rotate the shoulder pads so they're out of the way, like so. Then there's a tab here and a slot on the inside of the torso, so snap those together to lock the robot mode head into position. Then fold the backpack assembly down out of the way. Try not to pop off the shoulder pads or disconnect the actual shoulder joints. Bear with me 2 seconds while I correct everything. Then finally what you want to do is make sure that the shark head is in position and use the slots on the sides of the shark's upper jaw area to plug in the hinge mechanisms that the side fins were mounted to keep everything locked together. At least that's how it should work in theory anyway. And here we have Sky-Byte in robot mode. Some of the joints in my copy are still a little stiff because they're still relatively fresh out of the packaging. So, as you can see, again he's a very faithful representation of his animation model and the original 2001 toy. We have a few missing colour details on the silver sections of the shoulder pads, but wrapper labels will fix that instantly. I don't currently have a wrapper labels kit for this guy, but I soon will, so I'll be, showing off in a separate video once I've done the wrapper label stickers. For size comparison, here Sky-Byte is again with Age of Surprise Deluxe Solus Prime. As you can see, he's quite a bit bigger, being a Voyager class figure. Here he is next to Star Wars The Black Series Darth Sidious. And with Shadow the Hedgehog. I don't currently own the original R&D 2001 Sky-Byte version of the mold, or the Freddy 30 version for that matter, for size comparisons. But moving on, articulation-wise, with a decent range of motion of the ball joint of the head, slightly restricted by the engineering of the transformation. There's both an up and down swivel and a 5mm paint rotation of the shoulder pads for expressive range of motion. Universal shoulders with decent range of motion, and you can even dislocate them for additional upward movement with the way the transformation engineering works. You've got a swivel at the elbow, a just over 90 degrees bend both ways at the elbow because of the transformation engineering. Wrist swivel on the tail claw, or the shark spike as he calls it in the show. And the blue and white sections also have hinges to move in and out like a crab claw pincer. And of course the transformation engineering of the yellow sections means that they hinge up and down as well. Articulation is pretty much the same on the right arm, universal shoulder, swivel at the elbow, basically replacing the bicep swivel. deep elbow bend, and there's no wrist swivel on, actually no, my mistake, there is a wrist swivel on this one, it's just a little bit further up because of the transformation hinge on the hand. And there's also a 5mm port on this wrist for those that, just above the elbow, for those that want to attach any weaponizer type components to it. Then you've got a waist swivel as well, which is a little bit hindered by the shark kibble on the backpack. Universal hips for in and out movement. Thigh swivel. A really deep knee bend due to the way the transformation engineering works and the shape of the thighs and such. And there's also an ankle tilt. No side-to-side rotation, but you do get a pretty decent range of ankle tilt movement on both sides. That more or less concludes my, aside from the fact that the, fins can be taken off and used as 5mm post-compatible weapons and such, that more or less concludes my review of Age of the Prime Sky-Byte, a figure that I've long awaited being made, having run out of opportunities to get the original 2001 version. So, that's it. I've been Sandblaster1987. Thanks again for watching. My next review will be, Star Wars The Black Series Darth Vader, which was given to me on loan from a friend of mine, the same friend that gave me the Star Wars The Black Series Old Master Darth Maul and the, Phase 1 Clone Trooper. So, until then, till all are one.